Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more oxygen not included in the Frigidant farm. Playing with the thermal upgrade patch. So we're a little bit starved for resources right about now. We are running out of algae completely for our algae deoxidizers and even the algae terrariums. Though I despise them, they do require resources. We've also been having a lot of trouble with coal lately. The coal generator has been using up quite a bit of materials and so far I do not have what I need in order to keep it running forever. So, all the more reason we need to get these hatches figured out and ferry them into some sort of a pen. Will they go quietly? I don't know, but we're going to try the best we can. In the meantime, though, once they are in a pen, I will dig down and get some algae. I'm also thinking it's about time we start digging down with some ladder systems, access some more water, more resources and stuff, but more importantly, start getting in position to start chiseling out a massive room down here so that our geysers, once they eventually do decide to start erupting, we'll be able to fill the entire area with steam. And if I am careful, I might be able to pump some of that steam out into a water reservoir, or, if I'm very clever, I can create two separate chambers where the steam rises, goes into a separate room where some wheezewort that cools the water down and condenses it back into liquid. I don't know. It's complicated, and I think it will work, but it'll take a bit of tweaking. In the meantime, we still have more to get done. So, if you guys would please start with, getting this pen ready and digging the areas out and stuff, that'd be great. I would much appreciate it. We should actually cancel this so that the hatch doesn't escape. Is there still some polluted water here? Sure enough there is. We should definitely get rid of that. You can't even see it, really. I mean, it's there technically, but I don't know. I don't personally see it, but if I keep stepping in that water, they're going to keep getting a mood debuff, which I don't really want to deal with, so let's go ahead and have them deal with that. I'll also go ahead and have them continually move out some of this algae here. Just so we have a little bit available for putting into our algae deoxidizers and stuff like that. Where are you going right now? You guys are harvesting up slime. Alright, so here's the problem, right? So I said that they're allowed to put slime here, and because this is a level 9 priority, they think that sweeping up stuff that I haven't queued up to sweep is more important. I'm going to go ahead and set this to a 7 right now. Still important, not super important. I would much rather you guys continue working on building this stuff up, at least for the time being. And also mining out some of this algae so that we are able to breathe. Breathing would be good. Let's set these back down to a 6 as well. Making power is important, but not super important. Does the coal generator automatically turn off once the batteries are full? I don't see any indication that it does. And that's kind of important. I don't want wasting coal. Then again, I also don't really see any evidence it's using up its reserve of coal when there's no energy to be produced, so I'm not sure if there's an inefficiency there that I should be aware of. Possibly. There's a lot of dirt over here. Am I okay with leaving the dirt here to try and, lure the hatches in this direction? Maybe. I'm not sure that I'm okay with leaving the mealwood seeds, but we do need to be paying attention as we get closer to the end of the cycle. We'll need to deal with this. Let's go ahead and harvest up some of this. Yeah, there we go. Get another one of these blossom seeds like so. I'm also queuing up a lot more paintings just in their off time. Not a very high priority, but whenever they have the opportunity to build those things up, it never hurts to have a bit more decor available, yeah? I think so. Keep building out the pen. Alright, the pen's looking pretty good. If we can just lure them in here, we will be doing great. Whoop, and we have another duplicant available. Do we want another one? Not especially. Diver's Lungs is quite nice, reducing their air consumption rate. Loud Sleeper, I hate. I don't care about Yokel. Naturally robust, scaredy cat, very creative artist, but honestly, we're doing really well on that front anyway, so I don't really think we need to have that many more duplicants than we already have, but we'll be paying attention for a really good one. A really strong one, preferably. Let's go ahead and harvest all this stuff up. They're not stagnated, are they? No, okay. What are you guys gathering up? Stop gathering any of this. Stop what you're doing. I don't want the slime, by God. It's because... So, I thought, and I'm wrong on this apparently, but I thought that if I set a storage compactor, there we go, to a higher priority, that would determine the priority as far as where something is stored, not when they have spare time, they have to go and fill the compactor with whatever slime and stuff they can find. That's not what I want them to do. But apparently, that's what they're going to do. So let's go ahead and set that to a 5 for now, just to kind of stop them from doing that. And if we ever find that there's some contaminated dirt or slime in some other storage compactors, we can temporarily set it to a higher priority and force them to bring it back. Also, speaking of which, we really need to get that clean. Why does it say it's out of order. But it's not. It should be fine. Huh. Weird. Thought they just cleaned it, but apparently the dial didn't reset. Interesting. Well, anyways, So, we're going to deliver a bit more water, some more algae and stuff. We need to keep mining some of this stuff out, kind of like so. We can harvest one of these blossoms, which makes me very happy. Grab that, thank you. The algae deoxidizers are now functioning again, doing their job. Create a bit more air because, yeah, we're starting to have some trouble. We may want to consider setting up an electrolyzer pretty soon because otherwise we're all going to die. How's the temperature of the coal generator? Pretty good. It is starting to warm up now, though. It's up to 23.1 degrees Celsius. And, of course, mopping up some of this polluted water is probably not going to do me any favors on that front, so let's go ahead and cancel that job, at least for the time being. Can't easily access all of this without creating some ladder systems. Now, in a latest patch, they did actually reduce the heat generation from the coal generator. Apparently, it was a bug of some sort, so they've tried to fix that more or less. Whether or not it is still going to get incredibly hot, I'm not especially sure yet, but let's see if we can get to the end of this cycle, and maybe, just maybe, the hatches are tricked by the food and lock themselves into this pen. That's certainly what I'm hoping for. How's the temperature for the supercomputer? Still quite hot, but it's doing okay right now. All right, well, that's some more technology done, so that finishes off temperature modulation, and now we can start working on things like med bays, advanced filtration, and insulation. All three of those are going to be pretty good for very different reasons. I like the mesh tiles, I like the insulated tiles, and I like the air scrubber and all the different filters. Very useful for your piping. For now, though, I'm going to kind of let them do their thing, let it cool off, let them function on a few other jobs. Got plenty of meal ice, and here come the hatches. There they go. See, they're eating up all the dirt. Fine by me. Just stay over here where the food is. Hey, pooped out some coal. 125 kilograms. So did you. That's a lot of coal. I will have you know. They make these weird noises when they eat it. It's like, ow! Huh. Please go into the pen. Go into the pen. I will do whatever it takes and wall you guys off. Go to sleep. Go to sleep right now. Right now. Right now. Okay. Okay, so they're both over there. Are they not able to burrow into a tile? Huh. That actually could be. That could totally be the case. Well, for now, let's build up a couple tiles like so. I'm going to try to trap them in here. We may have to kind of break away from our mold, our grid sort of pattern. Turn off the ladders and stuff here and just let this be the pen. And then we'll dig down this way. Could certainly do that. Wouldn't be so bad. But for now, this needs to be a top priority. Whoops, actually, a little bit more than that. First off, okay, hang on. Do we build this out of something like obsidian? I don't want him to do that. There we go, hang on. 3 high. Well, we could also do 4, but 3 high is the bare minimum. Otherwise, they will be able to jump out, and what's the point of that, right? Abso-freaking-lutely. Coal generator so far seems to be doing okay. Temperature is alright. And the supercomputer is cooling down. The water here is still freezing. We've actually managed to get a little polluted water as well, but we're getting somewhere with this at the very least. I could build some ladders down here and just kind of save them a little bit of a trip. Which I guess is a low priority task I will do. I'll let you guys kind of do this instead and, you know, have you deconstruct some of this other stuff, but not a high priority right now. We're just making a lot of food. Right now we have 61,000 kilocalories. We are doing quite well on the food front, it seems. Hey, Puffed, how you doing? Making yourself at home? Oh, you pooped out some slime, finally! So, that is a change they made to the game because there was a bug where the Puffs were not actually emitting any slime. So now they are doing that, which is great. Why is there coal in here? How long has that been there? I don't know, but anyway, we're going to need to clean this slime on up, aren't we? Let's go ahead and make that a 6th priority. Well, the slime eventually does kind of degrade after polluting a lot of oxygen, so it kind of goes away on its own. The goal is just to catch it so that, you know, the Puff isn't creating any more polluted oxygen after he is breathing it all in for us. But either way, lots of food coming in. This should last us for a while. It's apparently getting incredibly hot. I was not aware that the micro musher was considered to be very hot. Well, would you look at that? Fascinating. Let's put in a couple more gas-permeable tiles and try to coax this heat to get out of here. Huh. I mean, it makes sense. Any electrical device that is in use for a long period of time will get hot. These ceiling lamps, for example, will get quite hot. Yeah, maybe we should just go ahead and turn this off for a while. after she finishes this one. Let's go ahead and cancel that. I'm going to let it cool down for a bit. Our refrigerator is actually full. We may want to put in a new one. Of course, that takes power. And I did see that somebody said what you should do is store some ration boxes up here in the cold and it'll freeze. And that is certainly a cheaper way to do it without the refrigerators. You could do that. The only reason I didn't was because it seemed a little bit micromanagement heavy, but it's viable. In fact, it's a good strategy if you're willing to do it. And once again, they're gathering all the frickin' slime. Okay. Stop it. I don't care about that. I do, however, care about the thimble reeds and their fibers, reed fibers, of which we now have many. Yeah, the puffs will just keep pooping out tons and tons of slime. If they keep gathering slime, they can do that all day, literally. We don't want that. Alright, well, let's see what the hatches do at the end of the night. If we can get them into the pen, great. If not, then it's time to start digging down here, access some more algae and stuff like that. We'll go ahead and dig you out as well. Algae deoxidizers have completely used up all of our algae, so we're kind of at a point where we have to start exploring and getting out more resources, because if we don't, well, we're going to be very, very sad, aren't we? The alternative, of course, is to start hooking up some electrolyzers, and I don't even think that's a bad idea. In fact, let's go ahead and start doing that now. So forget the power. Let's go to oxygen. We're going to set up some electrolyzers, and we're going to do one over here and one over here. I like to do 2 if I can. It produces a reasonable amount of hydrogen. I said in a previous video, the way that the electrolyzers work is they take water, which is H2O, and they split it into their respective elements. So you have hydrogen and you have oxygen. Oxygen in the room, hydrogen floats up to the ceiling. And if we play our cards right, we can create kind of a dome shape here that traps a lot of the hydrogen up top, pump it down into a hydrogen generator, and try to get some electricity that way, and that's fairly effective. The problem is hydrogen has such a low air density that it's very difficult to get a sufficient mass of hydrogen into those generators. You tend to get little spurts of electricity, but not a very reliable source, unfortunately. But anyway. Yeah, let's go ahead and cancel this. They can eat all the dirt they want. I'll leave that for them. Sure, turn it into precious, precious coal. In fact, let's go ahead and sweep some of this stuff up. And we can go ahead and cancel these, and we can go ahead and deconstruct these, and we can dig this stuff. Whoop, where's my dig tool? There it is. Back out, get more algae. And let's tile this up as we often would do. Do something kind of like this. All right. I'm going to skip forward a little bit to the end of the night, and let's see what the hatches do. All right, the hatches are up. They're going to eat up some resources. Where'd the other one go? Are they both on top of each other, or did we lose a hatch? Nope, they're on top of each other. You just can't see them. All right, well, false alarm. I was kind of worried there for a second. It appears they have to burrow down in some dirt. Well, that is unfortunate, but oh well, I suppose I can work with it. We're going to go ahead and deconstruct some of these tiles, and we'll just work around them for the time being. No need to disturb nature, yeah? Let's make sure we dig out a lot of this stuff, though. I do want this algae. Very badly dost I want this algae. We are not producing enough oxygen right about now. Hey, look, a rotten bristleberry turns spiky. Wow, would you look at that? I wouldn't want to eat that thing. Eee. You know what, let's go ahead and try placing a ration box up here, somewhere where it's cold. That way none of our food spoils, and in the meantime, keep working our way toward that algae, get some oxygen, because we are getting to a point of low concentration that makes me very, very nervous, but the electrolyzers are almost hooked up. We just need to get this liquid pump going, get the pipes up ready, and we will be set. And then we can start prepping for some hydrogen power generation. Okay, one other thing I did was just kind of add in a couple extra batteries just to make sure we're not wasting any charge on these manual generators and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and tile that area back off. Now the piping is done, so we should start seeing a lot of water start getting pumped into these electrolyzers, which will, yes, start producing that beautiful, beautiful oxygen. Also, you can see the little pink hydrogen starting to get around. That's going to go a long freaking way as far as improving our oxygen generation. So let's go ahead and turn off these algae deoxidizers. That way we don't waste the power and we don't waste the algae, at least until we can decide what else we want to do with it. But for now, I think the 2 of these are a pretty efficient system. We have plenty of water hooked up. I don't know if we can actually change polluted water into air. I don't know, actually. That's a good question. Can it? Well, either way. We do need to start prepping up an area for our hydrogen to gather up toward the top. Since hydrogen is lighter than oxygen, it will float to the top of your rooms. So I guess I should take a little time and kind of plan that out, shouldn't I? Yeah, something kind of like this. I know, it looks like we're building some sort of a rocket or something like that. Or actually, I don't know, you kind of zoom out a little bit. It looks a little bit like a house with a pointed roof. And these are the rooms inside, like a dollhouse. Huh. Instead of the frigid ant farm, we'll call it the frigid dollhouse. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, the idea behind this is that the hydrogen gas will have to travel up the diagonal path and try to gather up here. And right in this spot would be a prime place to locate a gas pump. Right up here. You'll be able to suck up the hydrogen, pump it into a generator system that will keep up here. And otherwise, it should be more or less self-contained. Seems pretty reasonable to me. Lots of oxygen production going in right now. In fact, it does not say that we are consuming too much oxygen anymore, which makes me feel pretty comfortable. So, let's get forward a little head and finish off some more tasks. Oh, Turner, good grief. The toilet was only down for 20 seconds. You couldn't hold it until the end of that? Fine. Now, one thing that I really want to check here is I want to look at the liquid plumbing and kind of get an idea as to whether or not these electrolyzers are actually being efficient or not. So if we look at this right now, we can see inside of the liquid pipe here, right here, this bubble represents 10 kilograms of water at minus 0.3 degrees Celsius. Now, the question to me is, it definitely seems to be pumping a ton of water into this electrolyzer specifically. My concern here is that, for whatever reason, instead of consuming, well, what is it? Let's actually take a look at this. The electrolyzer here, heat production of 20 watts. Water goes in. Okay, so 2 kilograms of water is what the electrolyzer requires in order to function. So the concern that I have now is that every bubble is 10 kilograms. Instead of consuming 2, it's actually taking in 10, and then just 8 of it disappears, in which case we're going to be incredibly inefficient with our water. I mean, I see here that we're supposed to have this sort of, like, reserve, I guess, but I don't know. Do I trust this, or do I not? That is the question. And to be honest, I'm not really sure how much I trust it, because I'm kind of worried that it's just wasting a ton of frickin' water. So, I guess one thing that we could do here, then... Well, okay, there's a couple different things you could do, if that's the case. First off, we can go to our valving system, liquid valves, and this will increase or decrease the volume that pipes will allow inside of them. So I could create a valve here instead to ensure that only 4 kilograms of water is in the pipe at any time. And when it gets here, it splits into 2, and that way we know we're not wasting any water. That would certainly be an option for us. Of course, there's no, like, convenient place to put this, so I guess I'll have to start doing some sort of weird piping system up here, won't I? Yeah, I guess I will. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to do a couple of valves like this. Okay? So we're going to build 2 valves. We're going to have one split off and go here, one split off and go over here. Both valves will be set to 2 kilograms, and we're going to make sure that we are not wasting our water. Now, the good news is this pipe is not active all the time. If it were consuming 10 kilograms per second, I do think this pump would be running all the time. So this might be fixed. It really might be. But I'm going to play it safe, because if we run out of water, I'm never going to forgive myself. So let's go ahead and do this now. Set up some granite here, here. Oh, hang on. Yep. There we go. Okay, good. We are going to deconstruct specifically the liquid piping that is located right here and here. There we go. And then we will set up some more piping that goes this direction. Once this is deconstructed, I'll make sure that we're good. Granite, meow. Granite, meow. Yeah? Yeah, all right. So instead of 10 kilograms, I want to set this to being just about 2,000 grams per second. And I think that's about as close as I'm able to get it. 2,039. Close enough. Look, if I'm scraping for 39 grams of water, I think I might be in a little bit of trouble. Hey, look! It leaks water if you turn the things off and you deconstruct the pipes. Huh. You know, somehow I did not know that. But there you go. Oh, they're very cold because they're stepping in a tiny little puddle of water. You know, whenever it rains and I step in a puddle, I don't think, oh my gosh, I'm frozen. Little weenie babies. Huh. a fair bit of heat building up here, shockingly enough, in these pipes. Notice, by the way, that our coal generator is warming up quite a bit. That said, the heat is staying kind of congregated around here. I say congregated a lot, I know that, I'm sorry. But the heat kind of disperses as it gets further away. So it does seem to me that we're actually managing to keep this under control pretty well right about now. Let's go ahead and turn off the life loaf again. No need to do that. And is our water not pumping? Wait, hang on. Something's wrong in the piping system. What's wrong? I don't know. Duplicants. A really good learning, some medicine, athletics, a doctor here, some creativity, gastrophobia, can't cook, diver's lungs, not bad, honestly. Pretty low decor expectations and some medicine might be useful in the future. Do we want to go ahead and go for this guy? Oh, alright, let's go ahead and print off Harold. Welcome to the party, sir. Let's make sure, let's see, what's our current art? Level 8. Level 6 can still do masterwork art, I believe, so we're going to let Harold do this. It's perfectly fine with me that he does some art. Thank you, Mima. Okay, so now we're pumping out some water here, but now we're just wasting all of our water. And nothing is going through these pipes. Maybe I need to clear out a couple of these pipes to relieve some pressure first. That could certainly be. Let's deconstruct all these pipes. I know I'm going to spring a leak. And if that happens, so be it. But we need to get this system working before we start running out of oxygen, so you'll forgive me if thinking this is the top priority. Oh. Oops. May, Marie, and Bert are apparently trapped on this side. Yeah, that's not what I was envisioning. Okay, let's go ahead and build up something. Let's deconstruct the... Oh, no, hang on. Cancel this. Build the ladder up. This is top priority because these people aren't going to be able to reach their beds and they're just going to have a terrible night. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We'll get this fixed as soon as we can. I mean, May, if you're up, you know, you could do something useful. Well, Bert's peeing all over the dang place. That's helpful, isn't it? Do we not have any sandstone over here? We have granite. Can I build this? What's this ladder made out of? It doesn't actually say. Well, we'll be fine. Okay, we've successfully removed some piping. So, if I can get these liquid pipes working, can I please get you here, get you here. And top priority is getting this piping figured out. Can we do it? Well, this is very puzzling. For whatever reason, we are unable to get water into these valves, and I am not sure why. The water exists. It totally should be able to get in here, and yet for whatever reason, it can't. Okie dokie do. I guess we don't really have a choice. We're just gonna have to deconstruct all this stuff, and wow, that does kind of suck. Alright, let's go ahead and deconstruct all of it. Well, why is this valve shaking now? It says it has no output. What do you mean you have no output? You shouldn't have an input. Should you? Wait, I can't see because you got this thing in the way. Hang on. What if I get a pipe like this now? Will you be okay with it? Well, that is interesting. Even if we hook this stuff up to the electrolyzers, now it seems to have no pressure. It used to have to split the water up 50-50, and now there's no water pressure pushing the water. Huh. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to deconstruct this thing. We're going to shut that down. And now you can't... What the crud? There's open space right here into the electrolyzer. Huh. It seems that we have completely broken the system. I'm not sure where we went wrong. And maybe you guys are screaming the answer at me right now. I have no idea, but this is not good. So I guess what I have to do, as annoying as it is actually completely rework this system. And that's what I'm going to do. And maybe we can get the valves working now. I'm not sure. Oh, gosh, dang it. Harold? And whoever else you are? Mima? How'd you get your head stuck inside of this thing? Look at you. Look at you idiots with your head stuck inside of a tile. You deserve exactly what you get, but I'll go ahead and free you. Gee whiz, morons. Ugh. How does one even do that? You should sue, seriously. That's like a serious construction accident. You could have died. Okay, now's kind of the moment of truth. What happens if I reconnect this entire system once it's already pre-built and there's no water in the piping? Will it work? Okay, I see water pumping now. Will it go into the valves? Because I don't want to have to keep rebuilding this entire system. Yes, it's going into the valves. And now what? Well, first off, I want you to be set down to about 2,000 grams. Wow, we actually got closer to 2,000 this time. All right. What's the problem here? Requested flow rate, average flow rate, not pumping. Why are you not pumping? That does not make sense. Unless they have to, like, reset the valve or something. But you should be at least pumping 10,000 through the pumps and into the electrolyzers. Well, I'm getting very confused, but in the meantime, we need to turn these algae deoxidizers on. See if we can get this figured out. What happens if we rebuild the electrolyzers? Does that reset in some way? Oh, it does! Okay! What the crud? That was weird. Seriously, all I did was just rebuild the system, rebuild everything, and now it's working. So I don't freaking know what's going on. The important thing is, wait, you're supposed to be oh wait, hang on. You're supposed to be putting out only 2,000, but you're not. Well, why aren't you? You should be putting out significantly less water than this, and yet it seems like the valves are not working for some reason. Huh. That does seem a little weird, right? I mean, they're set to 2,000. I have flow control. I mean, at the very least, like, the water should stop pumping out of here till it's able to kind of go through one at a time through these valves. But it seems like it's still eating all of it up. The only reason it's not doing more is because we've reached max gas pressure at the electrolyzers. Well, I am very confused by this. I'm not especially sure why it's working the way it is. The important thing is the electrolyzers are working again, so I guess that's something, but even so, how very distressing. Well, I know that was infuriating for some of you guys. Wait, why can't you guys... Can you guys not get down? Wait, what the... Can you guys not get down from... Oh, God. Right, we need to cancel some of this before more people get trapped. Apparently, if they go up these ladders, they don't know how to get back down. They can get up, but they can't get down. Smart people. Alright, well, let's get them a way out, shall we? There we go. Alright, apparently these ladders need to be 3 deep, going up and down, trying to build out this roof. This will keep them busy for a little bit, so I'm going to end this video here, and in the meantime, kind of let them run this out. Build out this structure, and the next video, we're going to try to get some hydrogen generation going, and I also would like to experiment a little bit with the textile factory, so that's something we're going to do next video as well. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed, despite the fact that it was infuriating, but believe me, I was just as infuriated as the rest of you, and I still don't understand why we're not getting 2 kilograms of water through these pipes, but for whatever reason, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Is it a bug, or am I doing something wrong? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe if you are new, and I, as always, will see you guys next time.